Hey everybody, welcome back. These Bridezillas have an appointment with karma.
How do you lie like that?
I got scammed by a bride. That was definitely the worst wedding that I've ever worked.
This reviewer still has me upset, and it's been years, but the audacity of someone could lie to get a refund and then still have a complaint after they've used a refund that they did not deserve.
Ooh.
This is about the bride who canceled her wedding probably about 2 months before the wedding, and then she didn't even call me to cancel it. She had her sister call me to cancel it, and the sister said the reason why I'm calling is because the bride is too distraught because the groom has basically left her at the altar. They're not going to get married and they want to get a refund. Now, I already have my contracts, no refunds, but after I heard the sister's story, I felt really bad for the bride, and she's like, we're really trying to see what we can do with all the vendors, and you're the only vendor left. Can you help us? All the other vendors have been willing to give us our money back. So I said, I don't want to be like the only vendor being
I doubt that. I doubt that very
Story,
seriously.
right? He did this, he did that, and left her at the altar crying. So I'm like, you know what? I can't give you your money back because I already bought all the vases for her wedding, but I could give you a store credit. She said, okay, we'll take the store credit. Like a couple of years passed, the sister, hi, I want to use my sister's store credit for my sister. The one that didn't get married, she's having a baby shower. And I want this. So anyways, she places her order. How many she needs only leaves $22 per vase, right? What she wanted, simple. Green hydrangea in a clear vase with cherry blossoms. I warned her cherry blossoms were not in season. I'll see what else I can do. So I did curly willow with some glued orchids, same color as cherry blossoms in the green hydrangea. Mind you, the green hydrangea were very full. So already her $22 was spent in the green hydrangea and the vase. It was probably already like at $30. But I still went ahead and did the curly willow and the orchids, stuck them in there easily so if she didn't like them, she could just pull them out.
Hi, this is Charlotte from the future, and this message is for people who want to merch restock and only people who want to merch restock. So if you don't want to merch restock, then you can just skip ahead.
This message is not for you.
So a lot of you have been asking for a restock on the We Move in the Shadows shirts. Ask and you shall receive, my friends. So last time these sold out in literally 9 minutes. I didn't really realize how many of you wanted these shirts, so I didn't get enough. This time we are doing a pre-order. That way I know just how many people want the t-shirts. We can order the t-shirts. They have to then come in. It is going to take a few weeks for these t-shirts to come in. So you are not going to get these t-shirts before Christmas. However, we have it in a crew neck. We now have We Move in the Shadows crew necks, which will be available right away. It's available literally right now. So if you do want this before Christmas, head to shop.charlottedobre.net. Place your order between now and December 12th. Honestly, the sooner the better because shipping delays and all that kind of stuff, and Canada Post is on strikes and stuff. So just make sure that you get it in right away. My period cramps hurt. I can't think properly. Thank you guys for all the support on the merch. Very excited to bring these back. That's it.
You guys, she left me a bad review complaining about the centerpieces. So she put up a picture. She didn't even take the centerpieces out of the box. She took a top view of the picture, so all you see are the curly willows. And yeah, it looks bad. So this is a top picture, right? There's the little curly willows, kind of trying to make it look like cherry blossoms. But I told them when they picked up, if they didn't like it, they could just pull them out, and they still have the green centerpieces, which is what the budget allowed. Okay, she's taking a top view, not even taking him out the box. So she leaves me the bad review, right? And because she leaves me this bad review, you guys, and I know I told the story already, but I don't care, I'm telling it again. I was able to look at the sister's history. She got married, you guys. The sister got married.
No!
Because she left that florist a good review, and the wedding date was the same freaking date that she was booked with me.
Stop!
You guys, I was so upset. I was so upset.
Stop!
I'm like, I got bamboozled.
You did!
These people lie. How do you lie like that? Blatantly lie to take advantage of a small business because you wanted your money back because you decided to switch vendors. You should have just said, hey, can I pick up loose flower blooms?
No. She not only bamboozled you the first time, but she also bamboozled you the second time. The audacity!
In lieu of what I've left in deposit, I would have allowed that. But to lie and get money that you weren't even entitled to, and then have the audacity to complain on product that was free to you because you shouldn't have gotten a refund. Oh, you could still go in there, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
And see the sister and see her other review on the other wedding. I'm not over it, you guys. I have PTSD. And you know what? Because of her, she screwed it up for so many other brides who truly do get left at the altar. But now I'm not going to believe any of them. Now I have to stick to my contracts. Sad story or not, I'm sticking to my contract because I learned I'm going to screw up once in every little situation, and I'm going to learn from that.
Yep.
That is my lesson for the next time or the next time.
Yep.
So unfortunately, that bride screwed it up for really true brides that may be going
shame.
through that. Shame on you.
Period.
Shame on her.
Oh.
Shame on her sister. Shame on this review. Shame on it all.
Oh, my flabbers are gasted. You know, that's not the only story that I've heard of like someone trying to get their money back from a wedding vendor and lying about it. Like saying that like,
oh, the groom died. Oh, he left me at the altar.
and it's like, that would like play on people's emotions and like you're likely to get your money back. But you lied about it. This is literally why wedding vendors have contracts. It's literally why when you pay for something upfront or a wedding, you have to give a deposit because like this goes wrong and you can't tell if it's like someone's being honest when they're saying why they're canceling or if they just want to cancel, which they're not allowed to do. They're not allowed to do that. Granted, you know, she left you a lying bad review. She lied in this review that might have affected your business. It might have affected how you do business with other people. But you also went on social media and talked about it. So we're all gonna know. We're all gonna know. I don't understand why the bride went to another florist after she hired you, and I hope you responded to the review and called her out. Well, okay, maybe there was something where she found someone's work she liked more, or maybe someone gave her free work. Because why would you do that otherwise? Sneaky little...
No, we didn't get a chance to meet for a trial, so what are you thinking for your bridal makeup?
I brought all of my own makeup. Can we use this on me today?
Sure, that's no problem.
I do my makeup the exact same way every single day. And I feel like I want to feel like myself. I want to feel like me today. It's very important.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to do basically what I do every single day, just a tiny bit more bridal.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that okay if I hold this mirror the whole time just so I can check in?
Sure.
Okay.
The micromanaging starts.
My skin is more on the dry side, so I always have to use a primer. This one is the mattifying primer, and I just put it right here. My pores are enormous, so I need to put this on. I just put it right here, and right there. But no moisturizer or anything. This is all I use underneath my foundation. This is what I use for my eyebrows. It's called Shimmering Brown from Charlotte Tilbury. So I do make them quite a bit darker, and I do have a very specific shape. I like the beginning of my eyebrows to be a little bit squared off. I find it frames my eye really nicely.
Ooh, okay.
It has a bit more of a tail. I use this brush to spread out my concealer.
Okay.
So I kind of just pop it on the top of my eye.
Uh-huh.
And then I take this little brush.
Okay.
Just slather it all around.
I think she's just doing her own makeup at this point.
My foundation shade is a little bit too dark, but I just put a little bit and then kind of spread it out with my fingers. So I think it should be fine. I picked up this palette and I was thinking of putting this color right in the crease and then this color kind of over top of the eye. See, I love that. I know that you kind of put the blush more on the cheek and go up. I like it just right here because it really lifts up my face. It looks so pretty.
Why?
Can I show you?
I'm sorry, why did you pay a makeup artist to do your makeup if you were just gonna do it yourself? Listen, your wedding, your choice, bestie. If you want to do your own makeup, by all means, do it. Just do it. But like, you hired someone to come. That's money that you didn't need to spend. I love how she's also kind of like teaching the makeup artist how to do makeup. Oh my goodness.
So pretty. Right there, right there, right there, right there.
The silent judging.
And since this is a cream, I just kind of use my fingers.
Oh, yeah.
I do my lips very specifically every day.
Everybody's a makeup artist,
I do
eh?
overline them quite a bit.
Oh.
I saw that you recommended this, so I picked it up. I'll just pop this on.
Oh.
I feel like I look like I do every single day, just a little bit more bridal. You know what I mean? Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad you like it.
Hey, man, at least you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to do anything. But, like, also, I'd be like,
Don't, like, tell people that I did your makeup.
yes, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't, yeah. So basically, she paid you to listen to her live tutorial. Oh my goodness. Listen, I've been in situations where I actually really don't like the makeup sometimes that a makeup artist does on me. I have regrettably, paid a lot of money, or like maybe I'm on set and I'm like, oh, that looks so bad. And I have to go in and like clean it up with the Q-tips and like readjust the liner and like add some lashes or something, because it's just like, it's not working, But like, you know what? Your wedding, your makeup. Not your circus, not your monkey. If that's what you want to do on your wedding day, by all means. On the positive note, easiest money ever made though. You just sat there. I'd be afraid that she'd tell people who she used for her makeup. Literally.
People often ask me about bridezillas, but if you're a makeup artist, you know that it's not usually the brides that are the worst. It's the bridesmaids or mother of the bride. A couple years ago in January, I got an inquiry for an April wedding. That should have been my first red flag. Typically, I recommend booking your makeup artist at least a year out. Luckily, it was on a Friday and it was early enough in the spring that I didn't have anything booked. It started off pretty normal, just with a basic inquiry saying that she needed bridal hair and makeup just for herself. Jumped on a free consultation call, which I offer to all of my clients, and I started getting really weird vibes from her. Typically, my consultation calls with any client are about 15 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes being the long end if we get really, really chatty. This call ended up going for an hour and 40 minutes.
Whoa.
That should have been my second red flag. Whoa. But it was right after COVID and I was honestly desperate to get clients. When you're desperate, you start to ignore things that you know you shouldn't, and you take the clients anyways. She was saying things in the call like she couldn't believe how cheap my rates were for the quality of my work, and that she actually had a makeup artist booked previously, but she had to drop her because she couldn't afford her rates anymore. Red flag number 3. Later found out that makeup artist was actually a friend of mine, but we'll get more into that later. About a week after our consultation call, I started getting blown up on my phone with texts and missed calls. It was the bride. By the volume of texts and calls that I was getting, that it was a major emergency when really all she wanted to do was add services onto her contract. And I politely let her know that unless it was an emergency, to please not be calling my phone number, as it was my personal number.
I love it when people like call and call and call, and it's like, this could have been said in an email. In fact, it's probably better if it's said in an email, just saying. Get that in writing. Get a nice little paper trail going. Honestly, the inkling that I have a feeling that things are gonna get a little difficult, it's like, let's move this over to email. Let's move it to email. I'm gonna just CC my lawyer on that too. Just pop him in there, They get hella nice when the lawyer is CC'd, I will tell you that much. I got things going on and I'm projecting, but I am usually, so.
Emergency means like your venue burnt down, or you're not getting married, or the date changed. She said that she understood and that she wouldn't be calling me anymore unless it was really an emergency. I'll get you up to speed. She didn't understand. I will say the bride was really, really nice, but she was just a lot to handle.
Okay, high maintenance.
So remember how I mentioned that originally her inquiry was just for her, but then she freaked out and she was calling me and that she wanted to add more services on? Adding more services on is pretty normal, or taking some away is pretty normal. When she inquired, it was just her for hair and makeup. So the total amount of hours that takes is usually between 2 to 3 hours, depending on somebody's look that they want. Originally, we had her getting ready from 9 to 11, which was perfect for first look, and then for her getting ready photos. So yeah, she wanted to add on 11 services. By the time the wedding was over, she actually revised her contract over 10 times. It's pretty normal to revise a contract in a wedding. I mean, adding and taking away services isn't something that is totally unheard of, but that is a lot. Once she finally figured out how many services she actually needed, it was 12 total. I got a call from the bride freaking out because I had changed the timeline from longer than 9 to 11. Remember, originally it was just her getting her makeup done, so about 2 hours was all we needed. She didn't understand why the new timeline was longer than 2 hours. I had to gently remind her that because we switched the services from 1 person to now 7 people getting their services done, that it was obviously going to take a lot longer. She began crying on the phone with me because she didn't realize how long it would take for so many people to get their hair and makeup done, and she informed me that the earliest we could get into the bridal suite at the venue that she was getting ready at was 9 a.m. Her original inquiry said that the latest they had to be done getting ready was 1 p.m. I told her that would be absolutely no problem and we could fix this by just adding on another artist to
That's what they do.
people and then minimize the time.
You add another artist or you add someone to do hair. I've done like productions before. I've hired makeup artists before. I've added more people and then the makeup artists are like, whoa, 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 whoa. I can't do all that. I can't do all that. You need another person. You're like, okay, baby girl, I'll get you another person. They freak out because it's like the amount of people that don't understand that you can't just like add people, especially when there's like a time constraint. They freak out because it's like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. I don't want to do that. If your makeup, if one person's makeup takes 2 to 3 hours, why would you think that 11 people would also take 2 to 3 hours? Like that's a head scratcher right there. That's a head scratcher. Let's get to part 2.
Once we had figured out the timeline and realized that we actually need 3 artists altogether, 2 for makeup and then 1 for hair, she was a lot happier for about a week. Once I met her and we actually did the trial, like I said, she was very, very nice. A lot of things started coming up that were just a little bit weird. She started telling me about how they were struggling to pay bills. And again, I'm not trying to be negative towards that or bring any light to that. It's actually really, really sad and something that a lot of people struggle with. So there's no shade there, but it just really should have been a 100th red flag for me and made me feel like I was like in a really weird situation. During the trial, she was also telling me about how her family was kind of bullying her into a lot of these decisions that she was making in her wedding.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say that from the beginning. It's kind of sounds like she's trying to people please, okay? Initially, it was just supposed to be her, and then other people are probably trying to push her to make these decisions. And I'm learning that that's actually quite common. Without going into too much detail, I'm of the opinion that you just don't bring problems to a bride. Like, you just don't. Like, they have so much to worry about already, the wedding planning process. I get up every morning at 7 a.m. to speak to my wedding planner, send emails, sign contracts, send wire transfers, okay? Every morning. It's literally like a part-time job at this point. I'm dealing with so much. Please do not bring me any problems that don't need to be brought to me. Figure it out. Everybody's an adult. Anyways.
All of this was really starting to add up. As like I said, she was a really, really nice girl. I just feel like she was trying to people please her entire family. Trial went really well and she was really, really happy with the makeup and I was really happy with the hair and makeup. She looked beautiful. She just wanted a really simple, loose curl down, no extensions or no accessories at all. Really, really simple, clean, soft glam makeup. I really wish that I was able to share the pictures. 1 week before the wedding, and guess who gives me a call? Her bride was freaking out because she wanted to nix all of the hair services. There was about 6 or 7 people getting their hair done. So that was 6 or 7 services that were trying to get taken out of the contract. Remember from the last video, I ended up having to hire an entire team to help with her day. I let her know very kindly that unfortunately, because it was 7 days before her wedding, that we could not remove any services and that is in my contract. Begged and pleaded with me saying that the bridesmaids and the maid of honor no longer wanted to pay for it. Again, I really kindly informed her, letting her know that I had hired people outside of myself to do this work.
And it's like, how is this now your problem? How is this now your problem? I don't get it. Oh my goodness. So they bullied the bride into, adding more people to the contract. And now they're trying to bully the bride into taking them out of the contract. Doesn't work like that, bestie. Doesn't work like that. And honestly, I get where the bride is kind of coming from, but at the same time, you cannot then put your problems onto other people. I'm sorry, but it is not your makeup artist's problem to deal with your family.
This is people's livelihood and something that they actually depend on to feed their families. If you want to see me get really mama bear, you get in the way of mine and my team's money. She was really understanding on the phone and then told me that she would talk to the bridesmaids herself. 4 days from the wedding, I got a call. Now we wanted to cancel makeup services. She did let me know that one of her bridesmaids was sick and probably wasn't going to be able to attend, which is a fair enough excuse. I said because of the contract and the nature of me again having to hire outside people that we couldn't actually cancel any of the services. I did suggest to her a really good solution, which is offering the service to somebody else, either in a bridal party or maybe a mom or an aunt or somebody else, so that they can pay for it separately and it doesn't actually come out of her own pocket. Yes, I want to protect my staff, but I also do really want to protect my clients because I know how expensive weddings can be. I'm not out there to try and take somebody's money, but again, you get the story.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I commend you for being super flexible and trying to work with the client as well. But this doesn't look like it's going too well. I'm just saying, this doesn't look like it's going good.
Finally, the wedding day is here. Me and my team show up at 7:45 like is outlined in the contract. And guess who's an hour and a half late for the wedding? The bride and the bridesmaids. Never had somebody so late for their wedding day.
Oh my
goodness. We might not be able to
goodness.
perform all the services or we could only do half services. They got nasty. However, my team and I are rock stars, and we finished everything only 15 minutes behind. Everyone
Period.
looked amazing. The wedding party was happy. We were happy. And now it was time to get the out of there and completely forget about anything that had ever happened. As me and my team are leaving, the bride chases after me down the stairs and tells me that I forgot to put her veil in. There was no veil at the trial. Hair is down in loose curls with no pinning and no security in the back for a veil to go into. Together, I figure it out. I put a little hook in the back of her hair and it's good. We get the hell out of there. We had a flight to catch later that day. Then I went to my destination and I realized when I got there, which was about 10 hours later, that I hadn't actually got paid yet. I left it alone till the next day as I didn't actually want to bother the bride. It was her wedding day, and although it was a really experience, it's still her wedding day. The next day, I actually reached out to the photographer who I had worked with previously, asked her how the rest of the day went, and she said, great, except for not getting paid. I shared that I also hadn't got paid, and she actually leveraged not giving the photos to the bride so that she would pay me. Long story short, I actually didn't get paid for 9 days. I was in a phone war back and forth with the bride, and she made up some bullshit excuse about how her aunts tried to pay me at the end of the wedding. Oh, my light just died. How her aunts tried to pay me at the end of the wedding, but they couldn't actually find me. I'll be honest, I did really get into it with her on the phone and I gave her the gears, but I got my money. I have now completely changed my contract because of this bride. I'm sorry my light has died, but what I'm trying to say is that you need to pay attention to those red flags. You are worth more than all of that stress and all of that pain just to have one booking. I probably spent more time dealing with headaches and dealing with her than I actually did making money.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you can argue the bridesmaids and mother of the bride were also not great in this experience, but you definitely had a bridezilla on your hands. Like 100% had a bridezilla on your hands. From the dodging the payment to the incessant phone call to the constant changing of the contracts. There's a difference, I think, between being a little bit high maintenance and being a bridezilla, but dodging payment, without a doubt, makes you a bridezilla. It's so funny that like vendors who really know what they're doing actually have these types of things in their contracts, like already written. For example, my wedding planner has this clause that says that no communication like is guaranteed. Like they will make time for you between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. business hours. They will not accommodate, like it's not like they might accommodate it, but like if they like you or if it's an emergency, whatever, they are not obligated in any way whatsoever to have communication with you outside of business hours. I first read that and I was like, huh. Like it's difficult for me because there's a time difference between me and my wedding planner. So like it's kind of like when, you know, when I wake up, her day is kind of like ending. But then I hear stories like this and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is why she's very experienced. She's probably dealt with brides that call her at all hours of the night, demanding certain things, demanding communication, demanding an answer right now. I appreciate it because I like things laid out in a contract. I like it. It's like, what am I contractually obligated to do or not do? Let's put that in the contract. So I know and you know, and there's no confusion. I got scammed by a bride.
Get ready with me while I tell you about how I got scammed by a bride. There was a post on the wedding page in my city about a girl looking for a makeup artist. I just commented because I actually had the date free. The bride messaged me and she immediately loved my work, asked me for a quote, and I gave her my pricing and she instantly wanted to book. I sent her over my contract and she went over it. I ended up signing the contract. She could pay the deposit in a couple of days just because she got scammed by a photographer and she was just recuperating some money from that. Apparently she was out like $4,000 from this photographer. Me being the little softie I am, I said, for sure, that's no problem. The wedding was in a week. The chances of me booking that date were pretty slim. A couple days go past and I message her about her deposit and I just say, hey girl, just wondering if you are going to be paying the deposit just because the wedding day is coming up and I want to make sure that I am officially booked for your wedding. She ends up asking me if she can pay me in full on the day of the wedding. She says she had cash put aside for me. I say, sure, no problem. That's totally okay. The wedding was so quick. I never book weddings this short of notice usually. So I was a little bit more flexible on it, which again, I shouldn't have been. That was my own fault. Next day, it's wedding day. I show up to the hotel. Everything was great. You could tell that she was a little bit agitated by something and it was just family stress, which is very typical for weddings. There's always a lot of family drama, unfortunately, at weddings. I did the best
Sad
I
but
could
true.
to keep the situation just going. I try to keep it very professional. A lot of the times when we are doing hair and makeup, we're kind of like therapists for our clients as well. Just kept doing my thing. I finished the bride and the mom asked me, she was like, can you do my hair for me? And I said, sure, that's absolutely no problem. It will be this much though. She said, yes, that's no problem. I will e-transfer you. Continue to provide the service because we had some extra time after I finished. And then it was time to get the bride in her dress. And this is what gets me, is she was struggling with her boob tapes. I went in and I helped her tape her boobs. I helped her get into her dress. I buttoned up her dress for her. We had a moment. We had a good hug. I honestly thought we were friends after this. She thanked me so much for making her so beautiful on her wedding day. Then I started packing and then I just wanted to remind her about her payment and she said, yes, no problem. I have it right here for you. And she got distracted and ended up going back to the room and she started crying. Oh, no. I don't know what she was crying for, but she was just in the room for a really, really long time. It's a little awkward there, but they had to get going and leave ASAP because they were going to be late for her ceremony.
Oh, no.
Kind of rushed out on me and never got the money, but the mom said, hey, please send me a invoice. I will pay you for all of the services. I said, that's okay. Sometimes I understand that things get a little crazy on wedding days and they get a little rushed and whatever. And she even thanked me on a public post that was posted on her Instagram. She thanked for the hair and makeup and said that she's never felt more beautiful in all of her life. Then I sent her updated invoice that includes the mom's hair as well. And it was absolute crickets. Whatever, I let it be for a couple days. I know that after weddings, you're on an all-time high and things just get a little crazy. I said, hey, your mom said to send the invoice to her. Could you either send it to her and give her my e-transfer information, or you can also pay with credit card. I gave her all the information. She messaged me back and she was like, oh my God, my mom didn't pay. It is so much like her to do this to me. And then she said, please do not stress about payment. I will get you paid by the end of the day. I said, okay, great. You hash it out with your mom. You deal with her. Again, the next day comes around and I just send a reminder for the invoice and I let her know that it is overdue and that I will have to charging interest if it sits any longer.
Period, bestie.
She goes on and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't get a hold of my mom. She won't answer me. We are just dealing with a court battle with my husband's son right now. And we are out of some money.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is not anybody's problem but yours, the bride's. Your legal battles and your money battles and your family drama is nobody else's problem other than yours. And the people that you hire to do your wedding are not your friends, okay? They're people that you hired. You don't get to go into an Hermes store and say,
you know, I have money problems, but I still want the Birkin.
sorry, did you hear me? I said I have a money problems, but I would still, maybe I'll just take this Birkin and pay you later? Yeah, no, they'd laugh in your face. They laugh in your face. So why is it okay to do that to people who are performing a service? It's not. It is absolutely not. I think it's okay to be understanding of situations. After the wedding is over, there's tons of invoices coming the bride's way. Everybody has to get paid. Everybody's badgering them. Everybody's sending them well wishes and stuff, and they're hungover, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a red flag to be telling people that you're struggling with money when you owe them money. It is. If you can't afford certain things, you just don't buy them. I'm sorry. You could do your makeup and hair for free. We all know how to do hair and makeup, most of us, right? If you can't afford something, you just have to opt out, and that's totally fine. But don't make other people, wedding vendors, people with small businesses responsible for your money troubles. They're not.
She said, can I pay you when I get paid?
This is
the
third
Friday?
time that she said that to you.
It sounds good.
No,
but I
Bessie.
do have to start charging interest onto your invoice if I'm not paid by Friday. Comes around and I still never received a payment. I go ahead and I message her hey girl.
Hey girl.
Again,
hey.
just wondering when I will be seeing payment for your wedding. Messages me instantly and she says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We just instantly had to put our
Always
dog
with
down
the
the
sob
other
story.
day, and we were out
Yeah,
$5,000 because of it.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry about this whole money situation. It's been absolutely crazy lately.
Oh, boo-hoo.
And at this point, I've been sympathetic enough.
Yeah,
And
you
I
have
am
been.
a very big dog person. I love dogs. I said, I understand things may be financially tough, but there is a credit card option.
I'm literally about to say this.
Oh, I don't have the money right now, but could I pay you later?
That is a massive red flag because most vendors have credit card payment options. You get them paid on time and you pay them later. You dodging the payment just to me says,
I don't want to pay this person.
maybe she has every intention to pay you. But maybe she doesn't. And guess what? You can't be this, wishy-washy with the credit card company. So
Please have the invoice paid ASAP because I do have to start charging you interest. And she said, yes, that's no problem. Please proceed to charge me interest. I totally understand. Thank you for being so patient with me.
are you kidding me right now? Oh my God. I just want to know if she got paid. Can you tell me if you got paid? All right, few answers because y'all are coming at me. I'm taking her to small claims. Also, I'm in Canada. There are insane privacy laws here. Can't just Google someone's address, unfortunately. So you didn't get paid. Yeah, I'm sad about it, but I'm not surprised. Sounds like that Bridezilla has an appointment with karma. Subscribe!